I want you to kill every golfer on the course.
Check me if I'm wrong, Sandy, but if I kill all the golfers, they're going to lock me up and throw away the key.
Golfers! They're great, not golfers. The little brown furry rodents.
We can do that.
Right.
We don't even have to have a reason.
And now, back to the Big Dumb Fun Show.
You're listening to the Big Dumb Fun Show. We are online at BigDumbFunShow.com. Friend, fan, follow us on MySpace, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Eventful, Reverb Nation, and the Google Plus.
The Google Plus.
You know, a long time ago, in a galaxy far away,
You were a cow.
you know, when you talk about like 2
You
years
were a
down the
sheep.
road, right? You talk 2 years down the road, you think you're just going to have a ton of money, right? So we were talking with, it was my parents, it was a family dinner or whatnot, I don't know exactly. We were like, you know what we should do? We should really do a cruise. And I was like, that's fantastic. I would love to do a cruise. And it's like, well, let's do it next summer. Hey, that's great, because you always think you're going to have money, like...
Next year.
Next year. You're like, oh, man, by next year I'm going to have time to save, and I'm going to have money. And so we're like, okay, let's do this cruise. One of my mom's hang-ups
Is
was...
your wife talking to you so you can plan this?
Yes.
Okay.
One of my wife's hang-ups was...
on the Ifeway.
I think that it's going to be right in the middle of hurricane season.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, Mom, come on.
Hurricane schmurricane.
You can't, like, plan around a hurricane. This is ridiculous. Like, we just dismissed it right now. So my sister is getting ready to leave for Disney World, like tomorrow. And Hurricane Isaac
is about to make landfall.
is about to make landfall. So
Yeah, but hurricane, that's what I wanted to know, because we're going to Disney World at the end of September. Would the hurricane affect Orlando? Because Orlando is a little bit further landlocked.
It's on the Gulf Coast.
It's
though.
more inland, but yeah, I think that
It's on the Gulf Coast side, but it sounded like the hurricane was headed closer to Louisiana.
I think it's going to go around the side. I don't
But
think she's going to have anything to worry
it might
about.
swing past, the Matterhorn. You never know.
You think?
So is she nervous? Like, what's the weather like in Orlando?
Well, they'd already diverted flights from the Republican National Convention, which started today.
Oh, man.
And they called it a
so
soft
sad.
open.
Yeah, but they delayed it though. I thought they
I
delayed
delayed it.
They gavelled it open. 10 minutes later, they called for recess.
They're like, you know
That's
what?
the kind of school I want to go to.
Well, wasn't that convention
You just get
4
there,
days?
you take attendance, and you're like, go back to your business.
That convention's 4 days. It went to 3 days, correct?
No, they're actually considering it's still 3 days. They're still considering to maybe extend it to Friday because of the.
Yeah,
they don't
they're
want to make
just
it
trying
too
to push
big
it back,
because it's like, hey, it's all glitz and glamour
In the middle
while,
of a hurricane.
while there's a hurricane making landfall
Well, like neighboring
on the
cities are being totally
anniversary
destroyed.
on like the anniversary of the Katrina hurricane.
That's so sad.
Because have you
Is
ever
it-
watched any of the conventions, Republican or Democrat? It's all just everybody patting each other on the back, and you're giving these speeches to it's like that's the expression, preaching to the choir, right? You're giving these speeches to people that absolutely adore everything that you're going to say.
I love you.
And like, oh, this is great. This is so fantastic. And then everyone's, whoa, yeah. So you got this huge convention in the middle of Hurricane Alley where, the previous Republican administration totally failed. Or at least that's the perception. That they totally failed. And so now they're going to be having this big grab-ass party and in the middle of this hurricane, and who knows what the hell's going to happen.
Well, is New Orleans on that radar of being hit for Hurricane Isaac?
I don't know. Gnirk, do you actually have your big Doppler whipped out?
Because
over
I know
there?
they're
No,
talking about Hurricane Katrina, but that was more.
Well, that
New
was years
Orleans.
ago. But what they're concerned about is this type of hurricane could potentially cause the same kind of damage as Katrina.
But they've
and so
been
they don't want to take it
tracking it.
lightly, not as a presidential candidate.
But they've been tracking that hurricane for. I've been hearing about it all week. I thought.
How much can you do as a candidate if a hurricane hits? That's really the president's job, to get in the chopper,
And stop it?
and fly over. You're not going to stop it.
Yes.
But you have to
Well, tell
fly
him-
over, and you have to survey the damage. Yeah, and
No,
just take a look at all the stuff
can't.
that's going on.
He has to get his Ghostbuster powers.
You're not even making sense now.
Get your Ghostbuster.
You spend too much time at Comic
and
Con
your
Carne.
Transformers powers.
You just get it all together and
Get
have
it all
everybody.
together. Captain America,
Well, here's the
the
deal.
Hulk.
Captain Planet.
The Republican National Convention is still going to nominate Mitt Romney
That's what I heard.
as the presidential candidate
don't
for the
think it's-
Republican Party.
You don't think it's going to be Ron Paul?
No, I doubt that. I mean, maybe if like the presidential candidate's plane crashed.
On a funny note, that Aiken guy we talked about last week, he's still running, isn't he?
Yeah.
And
He's not
had,
giving up.
He had a big announcement, like the following. Like we talked about him and ran him over the coals on Monday. On Tuesday or Wednesday, he had this big announcement, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's gonna step back." So he came out, and it was tough to see him walk out because he's got these huge brass balls, right? And so it's tough for him to walk out, and he's like, "Hey, I'm still running," and I was like, "Yes,
I know,
like,
but what I was
support him or not, you
surprised-
got to give him props for hey."
I was surprised.
I said something really stupid, and I'm going along with it. It was just a mistake.
I was surprised because he has daughters, and for him to say something, what he said,
You're surprised that he has daughters?
No, I'm surprised he made that type of a comment and had that type of a discussion, knowing that he has daughters. That's what surprises me. If he just raised boys, I kind of, not that I can side with him by all means, but when you have boys, you don't realize how different and difficult girls are. But I'm surprised he was still running. But I read
that gives him a first-hand account, so he absolutely knows from a fact now that your body can just shut that down.
no.
That's not from a first. Only if something
He's got
happened to
daughters.
his
you
daughter.
see-
Probably told him. That's probably who he heard.
He probably didn't have. He probably had consensual sex with his wife,
I read
and they had children.
so
Now,
I have no idea.
many hate articles about this and all these women who have been raped, and it's a disgrace. It's
Legitimately?
an insult. And then one lady posted that I hope he goes to prison and gets himself raped and know what it's like to get your insides torn up. And things where you were reading, they were going.
What newspapers are you reading?
It was on the Huffington Post.
Oh. Do you remember when I told you last week?
HinduTimes.com.
I told you that they were depending on what slant the media was at, you're going to read the Huffington Post. It's going to be on that one slant, just as long as you know
but
that.
I'm saying that the articles that people did post, it was interesting to read. I
Yeah,
felt like
this
I
is
was getting
comments.
raped watching the articles. I was just like, I don't know if I can
I've
read
been
this.
violated. Can you get me the link to that article? I haven't had any action in quite a while.
It was painful.
Do not. But
My
everyone.
insides were hurting.
Let's
I
not.
felt my hair got ripped out.
Let's talk about the
I
Hurricane
felt I had
Isaac.
a black eye.
Talk about Hurricane.
My lip was bashed
Let's
in.
not keep the black guys out of it.
Black eye.
Oh, Hurricane Isaac.
Unfortunately,
is
she won't get pregnant from the article.
I
Hurricane
won't,
Isaac
because I can control it.
Yeah, because it was a.
segue here.
It's not,
It's going to be raping the Gulf Coast, and there's really nothing you can do to stop it.
Yes, you can. We can.
We cannot stop a hurricane yet.
We can.
Get to the chopper. We're going straight into the eye. All right, guys, that was a lot of fun.
well, we're going to have more fun when we come back because we're going to talk with Andrea Lee.
Absolutely. Mute the Idol is in studio as well. Steve Williams is going to stop by. We still are going to talk sports with a guy named Chris. And Entertainment 10 tonight, all on the Big Dumb Fun Show. Stay tuned.